Assalamu alaikum everyone, and let's talk about Pepe in detail a little bit today. I'm kind of in the mood. So a clear rejection has already appeared. Bitcoin has already started to drop down, and be very, very careful because the dump party for altcoins right now have already started. And as I said before in yesterday's video, the title is called The Cycle of Life. You basically go up and down and you go in a waveform, in a wavy journey. That's the thing. Now here, what I'm going to say about Pepe is not going to be good for the people who are bullish at the moment, because again, you've moved 130 to 140% move to the upside. And if you're going to pump 130 and 40%, I don't think it's fair enough to complain for a correction to the downside. I don't think people should be like, oh no, we're going down and stuff like that. Saying that is not going to really help you in trading. So let's see, in the past history, whenever Pepe pumped, how many days did it take for Pepe to go to the downside? Now, one area that I'm specifically looking for is this sideways movement and this consolidation. So you went from, how many days is this? June 23. So 23rd of June all the way up to 14th of July. So we're talking about 23 to maybe 24 days of consolidation before going to the downside. So let's estimate, if you take 25 days on average to move sideways before you don't drop to the downside, what kind of a date are we looking forward to for the next move? So it basically could go down like this, up, go down, maybe go sideways, and then finally hit your head to the downside. Because unfortunately, I may expect a lot of stop losses have been placed right there. A lot of stop losses is placed right over here on this wick. I do see Pepe at least coming down here to 10,000. okay, 10,000 is pretty much a price you're looking for from 11,790. Again, the wicks are always visited. You cannot leave this wick hanging around. Now the next thing is how you do that. We could potentially see some few stop losses been taken away, like this one as well, and then eventually drop down and take this one, take that stop loss, take this stop loss, and take that stop loss as well, right? So if you're looking to take this out, you probably are looking for a move to the downside. A food of thought is we could potentially have this left shoulder printing this head here, come down like this, come up like this, and make a right shoulder and make a huge head and shoulder, and then drop down to a technical target of 8,000 or 7,000 of this head and shoulder being played out. One more thing we can estimate is the RSI. So let's go on the daily, and you can see that the RSI clearly is overblown to the moon, really high right now. This is the highest it has been for Pepe. That's like the all-time high for the RSI on Pepe. Now, if you end up coming down for a retest, then one thing on the RSI, normally people don't like the retest of the RSI, but if I do, bring the RSI and focus on the RSI itself, then this was pretty much a descending broadening wedge for RSI. This is a pattern known as descending broadening wedge. Whenever the prices are descending, but they're also broadening, like they're enlarging, they become bigger when you go down. It's actually a bullish channel. It's more like a channel called descending broadening wedge, and then you break above the wedge itself, then you come down to retest the wedge. We may see one retest and one touch of Pepe on the RSI and have a little bit of reaction right here, or just go all the way down, lose this trend line because you got this resistance, which may turn into a support. Now if you do lose that support and you go below here, then you pretty much go all the way down, perhaps to this area, or perhaps to the lowest side of that descending broadening wedge. Now, if I was to trade, and if I have to keep something about this coin very simple for buying, I may say that I want to see this going absolutely down, and if it ever comes down here to this area, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it does ever come down here, this is one of the best spots to put a buying bid, basically, because you may have some reaction to the upside. Even if it's just 10%, 20%, you definitely do get something out of that particular area, which I think is pretty wise to look at as well. And one more thing is also, if you consider that there's a trend line going on here, then that means you come down, 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 down all the way, one touch, two touch, and then you have the third touch, and the RSI also gets oversold. This is just my own personal opinion for the downside actually, but for the upside as well, you're looking for a break to the upside. But there's one more thing you have to understand. You see Pepe now has 3 black crows, and this is a bearish continuation pattern. So when you see 1, 2, 3 candles back to back that are red, you always get that one little bit of a green and then followed by even way more red to the downside. So this is clearly not good. This is evening star, clearly not good. You have a bearish divergence. I do believe we are going to take a rest, as I made a video of 3 to 4 days ago. And that's it for this quick update on Pepe. I'm going to see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.